and queens who turn a blind eye and relish in their power while the people slowly rise. Don't patronize through charity. Our food has lost its seed. You spilled our oil's money, and your power is run by greed. Down here we spill the blood you hide, while up on your thrones you toast to life in between flying and scraping the ground. Peace cannot thrive when you squeeze every pound. No, peace cannot thrive when you're deaf to our sounds.
Yeah. Now it's a war going on outside, no one is safe from. Fists up and keep one in the chamber. The message is clear, what we gotta debate for. So if it's war, I'ma give you what you came for. False heroes, show me a clock to pull a cape from. We ain't have a chance to have another take one. Ain't it funny, the same people that take from don't understand when we run up in your house and take something. How that work? You protected by a system built for you. How that hurt? Lick my finger, let me get that little privilege off your shirt. Do your research. I'm not just here to give you advice. We dressed in all black and we ready to ride. What's
To
up?
those with all the guns who stomp to break our rules and erect from the games of intimidating fools. Don't tell us you're our safety when we taste your OC, for only using words to stand up for our beliefs. Down here we spill the blood you hide, while up on your thrones you toast to life in between flying and scraping the ground. Peace
just a march. This is just a catalyst.
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
All power
To the people!
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 Together, we the people can change a broken system. We have police in our schools that surveil, traumatize, terrorize, and criminalize Black and brown kids every single day.
We cannot be silent. For 8 minutes and 46 seconds, a knee crushed the neck of George Floyd. Did racism become so real you had to move? His pleas, they bring to light that our history of racial violence is our present reality of racial violence. We are still trying to wake America up. And sad to say, we're still trying to wake white folks up. I don't want my daughter to have another moment. I don't want my son to be a moment. We have so much work to do. This is racism at its finest moment. It thrives on folks not moving. It thrives on folks not acting. For me, the definition of racism that's most raw and real for us today is the fact that it robs people of color of the benefit of the doubt. We are wrong until we are seen as right. We are ugly and still we are seen as beautiful. We are angry and violent until we prove otherwise. And what we're seeing in all of these killings is that people are not giving them the benefit of the doubt, and they're making their decisions right then and there. So we are presumed to be the worst version of people first until we prove we are different. And there's an opposite to that. There's privilege. White folks have the privilege to not have to battle that. White folks are assumed to be good. We all judge each other instantly. And you know why? The system is set up for us to do this. This is white supremacy working hard. It's casting its players in their respective roles. Because in those 8 minutes and 46 seconds, whites saw a black person under that neck. And blacks saw themselves, their brothers, and their sons. Every time a black person dies by the noose of racism, all black people are traumatized. We suffer a loss because we know it could be us. We know it could be our sons. We know it could be our daughters. This collective understanding is why George Floyd isn't the only reason people are taking to the street. It's that need. It's that need. It's that need that has been the weight on our necks. It is a symbol of oppression, and it is crushing my people. People are tired of the weight of oppression, and they are taking to the streets. Until most Americans are willing to accept, especially white Americans, that these traumatic racial events will continue to happen if we don't make systemic freaking change. We will be here every day. We can't all just hope that being nice to each other will make this better. We can't even all just hope that undoing police departments will make this better. We can't even just hope that firing these officers will make this better. This is us. This is America. This is who we are. And until we're ready to do the work in here, for all of us, we will be this America. It won't be the police, it'll be the medical department. It won't be the medical department, it'll be the education system. There's always a need, crushing our necks. Did it challenge you to educate yourself? Are you willing to pay attention to what's happening to people of color, especially blacks? Did the knee of oppression break your heart like it broke my heart? Do you feel its crushing burden like this mother carrying a baby boy? And a promise to be nice to each other won't solve that. And look at me in the eyes when you see me at the store won't solve that. But talking to your family will. But acknowledging that the social structures around you allow for 2 or 3 black people in your family circle will. In your friend circle will. But recognizing how your workspace operates by making the black people say hello to you first or they're rude. By recognizing all of these microaggressions that people of color have been living under. By recognizing that they can't wear the hair they want in certain settings. By recognizing you don't have a right to touch it. By recognizing that every black baby boy at one point is seen as dangerous because he's a black baby boy. Whites don't have to worry about being shot in their home through their kitchen window while playing video games. Whites can eat ice cream on a couch without wondering, did I lock the door? Somebody might run up here and shoot me. If you are jogging, you don't have to worry about the 2 pickup trucks driving the street. This is not Emmett Till in the 60s. This is not Rodney King, this is now. In order to feel real change, 8 minutes and 46 seconds led us to protest worldwide. Now what are we going to do? This moment isn't going to end racism, but it can be the beginning of the end. I want you to join us in the fight because Black lives matter. I will stand up for my black neighbors. I will stand up for my black friend. I will stand up for Sonny's black baby boy. These police officers are a product of America. The same way they looked at those black folks, be honest, the white woman who locked the door did it. The white woman who tried to get a bird catcher arrested did it. This is in our hearts. From birth, we are taught, treat them different. We all have work to do. We all have to make a way to deal with oppression and privilege. I once had a white man who asked me a simple but fully loaded question. He said, don't you consider yourself American? You know, not just black, but American. Absolutely not. How can I? America doesn't see me as American. American sees me as black American. And in this skin is power. In this skin is courage. In this skin is resilience. I am black. I'm proud of it. You don't have to judge me and treat me differently in a negative way because of it. I am a black American. When we talk about racism today, we're not talking about the card-carrying member of the KKK. We're not talking about the people who have hate written in their skin in the form of swastikas. When we talk about white supremacy today, we're not talking about those dudes. I'm scared of the folks who, in instance, rely on that white superiority, that white supremacy, and make decisions that could kill me. I'm scared of the folks who have not faced the fact that there are differences among us that could get me killed. Black on black crime does not exist. You hurt people where you live. White folks, as someone who works for the courts, you always attack white people. Black folks, as someone who works for the courts, we always attack black people. It's just the way we roll. It's because racism has us divided. But those statistics are used to validate the idea that black men are armed and dangerous just by virtue of the color of their skin. They are assumed that you must treat them like animals, remain in control, or they will dominate you. If you don't, then they will shoot you if you're an officer. If you don't, then they will ruin your schools. If you don't, your parks, your neighborhoods, your America will suffer unless you keep the weight of oppression on people of color, especially black men. We didn't want people to know who the police officer in their communities were. We wanted RoboCop. We wanted cops that came bearing down and threw away the bad guys. And now cops don't know the difference. Now they lighting a fire and killing folks and tear gassing us with the money we gave them. Because we put crime and criminals and police over education, public health, mental health, and drug addiction. We made that choice. We decided let's be tough on crime. We decided not to help people. We made that choice. And now we are faced with what it gave us. A society that is broken. I'm ready to fix it. Are you? We have cops coming from all over places who are there for their shift and only see the ugly. And then we expect them to do better when we don't. They choked the life of him out with a knee in 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And then they went home. And if we had not seen that video and taken to the streets, they'd still be at home. If the knee on someone's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds didn't shock you enough, didn't shock your neighbors enough, didn't shock your mama enough, it is your duty to shake them. When you feel weak, remember those 8 minutes and 46 seconds. When you can't do this work, remember there was a knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. You have no choice. Remember that if you really carried a sign that said Black Lives Matter, then you better do the work so Black Lives Matter.